Chapter 36. Duck! Call me crazy. I was expecting the World Tree to be a tree, not a row of bronze ducks. "Behold," Blitzen said, "the nexus of the universe!" Hearthstone knelt reverently. I glanced at Sam, who had joined us after a daring escape from first period physics. She was not laughing. "So," I said, "I'm just going to point out that this is the Make Way for Ducklings statue." "Do you think it's a coincidence?" Blitzen demanded. "9 worlds, 9 ducks. The symbolism screams portal. This spot is the crux of creation, the center of the tree, the easiest place to jump from one from one world to another." "If you say so." I'd passed these bronze ducks 1,000 times. I'd never considered them much of a nexus. I hadn't read the children's book that they were based on, but I gathered it was about a mama duck and her babies crossing a street in Boston. So they put a sculpture of it in the public garden. In the summer, little kids would sit on Miss Mallard and get their pictures taken. At Christmas, the ducks got little Santa hats. At the moment, they were naked and alone, buried up to their necks in fresh snowfall. Hearthstone passed his hands over the statues like he was testing a stovetop for heats. He glanced at Blitz and shook his head. "As I feared," Blitz said, "Hearth and I have been traveling too much. We won't be able to activate the ducks. Magnus, we'll need you." I waited for an explanation, but Blitz just studied the sculptures. He was testing out a new hat this morning, a pith helmet with a dark netting that draped to his shoulders. According to Blitz, the net fabric was of his own design. It blocked 98% of the sunlight, allowing us to see his face while not covering up his fashionable outfit. It made him look like a beekeeper in mourning. "Okay, I'll bite," I said. "How do I activate the ducks?" Sam scanned our surroundings. She didn't look like she'd slept much. Her eyes were puffy, her hands were raw and blistered from our fishing expedition. She changed into a black wool trench coat, but otherwise she was dressed the same as yesterday. Green hijab, axe, shield, jeans, winter boots, all the accoutrements of a fashionable ex-Valkyrie. "However you do it," she said, "do it quickly. I don't like how close we are to the gate of Valhalla." "But I don't know how," I protested. "Don't you guys go world jumping all the time?" Hearth signed. "Too much." "Kid," Blitz said, "the more frequently you travel between worlds, the harder it gets. It's kind of like overheating an engine. At some point, you have to stop and let the engine cool down. Besides, jumping randomly from one world to another is one thing. Traveling on a quest, that's different. We can't be sure where exactly we need to go." I turned to Sam. "What about you?" "When I was a Valkyrie, it would have been no problem. But now?" She shook her head. "You're a child of Frey. Your father is the god of growth and fertility. You should be able to coax Yggdrasil's branches close enough to let us jump on. Besides, it's your quest. You have the best chance of navigating. Just use the sculpture as a point of focus. Find us the quickest path." She would have had better luck explaining calculus to me. I felt stupid, but I knelt next to the statue. I touched a duckling at the end of the line. Cold crept up my arm. I sensed ice, fog, and darkness. Somewhere harsh and unwelcoming. "This," I decided, "is the quickest way to Niflheim." "Excellent," Blitz said. "Let's go there." I was just reaching for the next duck when someone yelled, "Magnus Chase!" 200 yards away, on the opposite side of the Charles Street, Captain Gunilla stood, flanked by 2 other Valkyries. Behind them were a line of Einhar. I couldn't make out their expressions, but the gray looming mass of X the half-troll was unmistakable. Gunilla had drafted my own hallmates to fight against me. My fingers twitched with anger. I wanted to get a meat hook and go fishing with Gunilla as baits. I reached up for my pendants. "Magnus, no," Sam said. "Concentrate on the ducks. We have to change worlds now."